Hello, good morning, afternoon, whenever you're tuning into this video. I want to talk about something that I used to talk about a lot, actually. Look at this ray of sunshine, beautiful. And this is eating disorders, disordered eating. I want to talk about this because I overheard a conversation that was happening in a coffee shop yesterday. And one human, was expressing that basically when she wants to eat a chocolate bar, she can't help but eat at least 12. Like, she can't help but, when she allows herself to have something, to want all of what is accessible. And her friend, the other human, was saying and bringing up, like point systems. I think this is Weight Watchers or something. I don't even remember. Stuff like that. Saying that like, you can have a certain amount of points. And I'm like, it took everything in me not to get up and sit within them and say, here's my number. Call me. Because if you didn't know, I do eating disorder recovery coaching based off of my own experiences going through and healing myself through basically like a decade's worth of morphing eating disorder, from anorexia to binge eating to bulimia over the span of many years, to now like fully recovered. It is possible, by the way. And I just want you to know that if that is you, that you eat one chocolate bar and you then can't stop yourself from eating 10 more, that's not normal. Like, that is not normal eating. I'm sorry, that is not something we should be normalizing. That is your body speaking to you, screaming to you that there is something that it needs that you are not giving to it. So the answer, like that situation, what I hear from that is that I hear from your body, I need more nutrients, I need more attention, I'm being suppressed. That's what that is saying. And it doesn't matter if you're fat. I say fat so freely because fat is not a fucking bad word. It's not a swear word. I say swear words all the time anyways. Fat is neutral, okay? We assign moral value to things that literally are so neutral. Everything's neutral and we assign morality to it. We're not assigning morality to fatness. Okay, let's just not fucking do that. That's just weird. It's weird. So you can be overweight, fat, and still be starving. That's not okay. The answer for you to fix that cycle of, I want to eat a chocolate bar and I eat everything in sight, is not to start a diet. Absolutely fucking not. Because you know what that diet is? It is just another form of you restricting yourself. And you're not going to fix the problem, which is you restricting yourself, because you wanting to eat 10 chocolate bars when you allow yourself to eat one is a sign of restriction, of some form of restriction. It can be emotional restriction. It can be nutritional restriction. It can be joy restriction. It can be you being, I just got goosebumps everywhere. It can be you not letting yourself fucking live because you're scared to get out of a situation that you've tried to change that is not changing. There's so many different variables that can come into play. It's not just nutrition, but most of the time it is fucking nutrition. And this is why I said you can be fat and starving. You can be. When I was literally starving myself the most, I was the highest weight I had been. Doesn't matter what the scale says. Fuck the scale, first of all. That's another sidebar. Get rid of it. You don't need it. It's a terrible measure of health. It's literally just telling you your gravity. Cool. Get a blood test if you really care about yourself, okay? But to fix the challenge, the issue of you not being able to eat and trust your cues in moderation, you're not going to fix it by hopping onto just literally another form of restriction disguised in bettering yourself. Weight Watchers, shit. I'm sorry, shit. Absolute shite. Do you think it's realistic and sustainable for you to count points every time you feed your body? I always think of, like, are you going to be at, like, someone's birthday and, like, be there on your phone just, like, putting in, like, nutritional points for eating a cake? No, you don't want to fucking do that. Listen, being a competitor, a bodybuilder, that's a whole nother thing. That's a fucking sport, right? That goes into that, right? So, like, that is a whole nother thing. You should never be doing that, though. If you are exhibiting disordered eating or an eating disorder, that is not going to fix your problems. It's going to exacerbate them. Bodybuilding is a sport. Like, it's a fucking skill. Like, it's a different thing. It's a whole different thing. There's a time and a place for tracking what you eat, and healing from an eating disorder or trying to heal from disordered eating is absolutely not the time. The way that we actually heal from disordered eating and an eating disorder, it's a little variable depending on what it is that you're specifically struggling with, but that's normal for healing processes to be very applicable to your individual personal journey, not personality. But you allow yourself to have what you want, because the issue with you not being able to trust yourself to eat one chocolate bar and then eating 20 is that you don't trust yourself. Your body doesn't trust you. The issue's not with the food. There's a little bit of beliefs, but it's the beliefs, right? It's the beliefs about the food. It's always you. It's your perception of the situation, the food, what you're doing. The solution is truly, doesn't matter what fucking eating disorder you have, the solution is learning to trust yourself again. Because at one point, you became untrustworthy to yourself. Your cues, your body became untrustworthy. Because of what society's told you, because of your experiences, because you're using your disordered eating as a coping mechanism, or eating disorder as a coping mechanism. No matter what it is, it always comes back down to you not trusting yourself. This is why it takes so fucking long sometimes, not always, to heal from eating disorders or disordered eating. And another thing that this lady was saying, I have goosebumps, I literally feel them, was she was talking about something that I often spoke about, and how recovering from disordered eating and eating disorders is one of the most challenging addictions, because we become addicted to our suffering, right? Overcoming anxiety can be challenging because we become addicted to feeling anxious. Even though we feel miserable in it, it's comforting to us because that became our home being. It's hard to overcome depression because you start to not understand how to live outside of that depressive state. The depressive state was comfortable. Staying in your room, although it's suffering, it was comfortable to a certain degree. Air quotes, because it's an illusion. It's not actually the most comfortable you'll be, but your mind can play tricks on you. But she was saying that it's very difficult to overcome eating disorders and disordered eating because you have to continuously eat. It's like having to inject heroin 3 times a day to survive. And her friend was like, no, heroin and alcohol are different, like, basically. And I understand she was saying that because she doesn't understand. She doesn't understand it. But this is why I really want to go sit with them and be like, you're not helping your friend, babe. Like, at all. Like, your friend's gonna go home and cry, probably, and feel worse. Because she feels like, why can't I get over this addiction? Why can't I get over this problem? There's something wrong with me. This is not alcohol. This is not heroin. I should be able to get over this. But it's true. You're addicted to your eating disorder, and your eating disorder is like manifested through food. So you are taking drugs. You do have to, like, literally continue to do the thing that is really fucking you up 3 times a day in order to fucking survive. 3 times plus snacks. So yes, absolutely. You can become addicted to anything. Anything that is in excess, that is hindering you from being your favorite self, your best self. That is an addiction. Anyways, I just want to tell you that you cannot overcome a restriction with more restriction. You're not going to overcome disordered eating or eating disorders by giving yourself fucking conditions. The solution is opening yourself to yourself and everything that comes forward, and holding space for yourself and continuing to walk through the shit that comes up. If you or anyone else needs extra support, I always offer eating disorder counseling that you can just DM me, message me, whatever, hit me up if you need help getting through it, because I fucking know it's really hard, and it is going to be the best thing that you've ever done for yourself, investing in yourself in this way. I feel like my spiritual awakening finally got triggered, so activated, after I finally healed my eating disorder. So, you're not alone. It is very difficult. You're valid in feeling like it's a very difficult thing to overcome. And you're not going to fix it by adding on fucking diets. You're not going to. In eating disorder recovery, what we do is we do keep track of what we eat, but not the amount. It's more so we can find the link between, okay, so I ate this. So I ate a sandwich. You just write sandwich. You're not writing pickles, cheese, any of that. You're just writing, I had a sandwich, and this is how full I was before I started, this is how full I was afterwards, and this is how I felt, and this is the thought that was going through my mind. Do you know what I mean? We're trying to see the pattern between the food types or the time of day to understand yourself more, not to understand what caloric intake you need. No. Okay? Because that changes every single day depending on your exercise, how you're feeling. Are you sick? Are you your body is smarter than you know. And if your body is telling you eat all the 50 fucking muffins that you see in front of you, that is a message. You need to listen. You need to listen. The way to stop that from happening is for you to normalize your eating patterns outside of those situations. Anyways, it's very fucking intricate. Like I said, if you need extra help, you hit me up, because you're not alone, and you can fucking do this. It's never too fucking late. I love you so much. Have a good day.